So I read your article on Basu Chatterjee Saab, and I think you had a long association with him. You mentioned an interesting part that, in spite of his phenomenal contribution to the world of cinema, he was not awarded Dada Saheb Phalke Award and not even Padma Shri Awards, Padma Awards.
Yeah. Yes,
Do you find that sad?
Basu, it is sad. It is sad, and a lot of people now are saying it. In fact, I remember a few years ago, some very senior filmmakers had tried to petition the government to give him both the Dada Saheb Phalke Award and other, some national honor. Unfortunately, that didn't materialize, which is strange, because Basuda has had a prolific career. He's been instrumental in working with some of the, most talented people in the industry, both
Right,
in front of the camera and behind the camera.
right,
And he's won several national awards, and he's won several Filmfare Awards and other honors.
right.
But he was a quiet, unassuming man.
Of course.
That's perhaps one reason, he was not one of those persons who ever talked about his triumphs or about his successes, even during his heydays.
Right. But maybe I think now it can be corrected, and I think
Yes,
I think he deserves a Dada Saheb for sure.
I remember in the late 70s and early 80s when Manmohan Desai and Prakash Mehra and Mr. Bachchan duo was ruling at the top. Basuda was at that time making films with all top stars, and the joke within the film industry that only three projects are saleable. Either you do a film with Manmohan Desai and Amitabh Bachchan, or Prakash Mehra and Amitabh Bachchan, or Basu Chatterjee and Amol Palekar.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of his films they did very well.
Yeah, they were a lot of box office hits, which
Yeah,
made
they
it
did. They did
right
really.
mid 70s to mid 80s. He had a string of hits.
Yes, and they did very well. That's what I was just reading, and that's interesting. Okay,
And that's not, one thing which we must all remember, especially the younger generation of viewers and filmmakers, is that at that time to release an offbeat film or even middle of the road cinema in
right,
theaters was a very, very difficult task.
right,
Not many distributors were forthcoming. Not many of his contemporaries' films from the same school of serious cinema got a proper release, but he managed 99% or 95% of his films had a mainstream release.
of course, of course. Like 42, he made 42 films, and which is I think which is substantial. Like I think almost one film a year, maybe something
Yeah,
like that, maybe.
and also a substantial body of work in television.
Of course,
Yeah, yeah,
not merely so substantial. Rajini, Kakkaji, Kahin, Vyomkesh,
yeah,
Bakshi, even today, they are so fresh and they were
yeah.
so path breaking in Darpan.
Yes, yes,
They were
yes.
so path breaking and brilliant. So I've been just watching his interviews. There are very few interviews, unfortunately, and I've been listening to his songs. They're outstanding. We will come to the music part and the other creative aspects. But before that, tell us something about your association with him. You wrote his iconic song "Uthe Sabke Qadam."
Yeah, I actually my association with him. I got to know him, when I first came in Bombay because we had a lot of common friends.
Right,
Especially, there was a colleague of mine in Navketan, Gogi Anand, uh, who was very friendly with him. Gogi at that point later on went on to make Dusri Sita with Jaya Bachchan and Darling Darling and several other films. And so Basuda and Gogi were friends, and they had a common cinematographer who later on went on to do a lot of work with me, K.K. Mahajan.
right,
So it was through them that I met Basuda, and then I got my first chance to work with him was in Swami, and that has an interesting tale. I was very friendly with Hema ji and her family, Hema Malini ji, And so her mother, uh, Mrs. Jaya Chakravarti, when she launched her banner, so she told me that, हमारा गाना तुम ही लिखोगे. So I said, Zarur, definitely, I used to go to Hemaji's house. So when she said we finalized Basu Chatterjee and they launched Swami, so and Basu, Yogesh ji used to write
Yeah.
usually for him. So that was the first time when I uh, got to write with him, and that film had great songs. They still
Yeah.
remembered,
Of
you
course.
know, songs like पल भर में ये क्या हो गया, का करूं सजनी,
Of course.
यादों में वो सपनों में है. So, in fact, I remember after Pal Bhar Mein was recorded and the shooting was going on, I bumped into Shabana, who was a dear friend, and I said, Shabana, finally I'm writing a song for you. She said, which one? So I said, the one which you were shooting recently. So he said, Pal Bhar Mein kya? I said, yeah. He said, no, I think Yogesh is, what are you saying? That is written by Yogesh. I said, no, it's written by me. So
Yeah.
that began, and then I wrote Baaton Baaton Mein, This Ukhe Sabke Kadam. And, then, of course, Basuda, when I decided to become a producer,
Manpasand.
so we launched the film in 77. Unfortunately, the emergency came and the film got a little delayed. All films got delayed. But we recorded some of the songs in 77. And that music also still is very popular. So we became friends, and then I wrote some other songs for him. I was a little conscious, because Yogesh ji was his regular writer. So often I shared the credit with him, and I would tell Basuda, please, I'm doing so many other things. I feel guilty that Yogesh ji is not going to be able to write. But still, we did about, I think, half a dozen films.
Yeah.
And then he went on later to direct another film for me. Yeah.
Right. And you're the executive producer for Gud Gudi, a film in.
I was the producer because it's produced by Plus Channel, which I was.
Right, of course. And that was 97. And you were telling me an interesting story about Gud Gudi, how Basuda wanted to approach Shah Rukh, and you were a bit apprehensive that whether Shah Rukh will do a cameo.
Actually, not many people know that a lot of stars have worked with Basuda.
Of course.
Beginning with Ashok Kumar and Veer Saab and Amitabh Bachchan, Rajesh Khanna, Dharmendra, Hema Malini, Shabana, Jaya,
Mithun Chakravarti,
Sanjeev Kumar,
Vinod
Mehra. The list goes on. And Neetu Singh, Rakesh Roshan,
Right.
Rati Agnihotri,
right,
several, Tina, of course. And,
Tina Mani.
yeah. So, there was a cameo in the film where somebody introduces the film. So, and Basuda has used this often this kind of motif often in his films. He had stars appear as themselves, so he casually said, वो शाहरुख किसी को Johnny Bakshi, the producer used to work with us in Plus Channel. So he says वो बख्शी को भेज दो शाहरुख के पास, उसको बोलो एक दिन की शूटिंग है वो कर देंगे. So I say बासुदा शाहरुख कहाँ बहुत बिजी है and फंस जाएंगे, डिले हो जाएगा. So he said नहीं एक बार भेज दो यार, अच्छा कुछ हो जाएगा. So he was shooting for Dil To Pagal Hai, and of course Yashi was a friend, but I knew that Yashi didn't like anybody to disturb him on his set. But anyway, we approached Shah Rukh, and he didn't even take a minute. He says, "Kal aa jao." So and he told Yashi, मुझे बीच में 2 घंटे टाइम दे दीजिएगा, मैं बाहर जरा इनकी कुछ शूटिंग करनी है. So he left the shooting, and next day he shot that sequence.
Right, the introduction sequence. That's pretty interesting, actually. I saw that sequence as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amitji, it is so fascinating. The journey of this man was so fascinating. He made a lot of movies. A lot of them they have become classics. Even the ones which are supposedly maybe lesser known, even they are very good films like you're talking about Ek Ruka Hua, Faisla, for example, which
Yeah.
is I was watching a few portions from that yesterday. Chameli Ki Shadi is a classic, and
Yeah, Chameli Ki
I
Shadi
think
was
one of the
produced by Prakash Mehra.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. And
Yeah,
Amrita
actually,
Singh,
when we did, yeah, Amrita Singh, yes.
one of her best works, like as an
And
actor.
Anil Kapoor, so we forgot. Anil Kapoor and
Of
Amrita Singh
course,
were top stars, and Prakash
at that
Mehra
point,
was
a top producer,
top.
direct filmmaker at that point of time. Yeah.
Many big producers, he did work for B.R. Chopra, uh,
Right, right, right.
Komal Nahata,
Amij, Amij,
Komal Nahata's father, Ramraj Nahata's first film, Prem Vibhav, was directed by Basudha.
my God, that's me. How do you look at the immense body of work that he did, and he had this unique approach that he made movies for posterity in a way, and rather than worrying about the sort of business that they're going to be doing, which is
You know,
which is
he,
fascinating.
but interestingly, Fardun, what we must not forget that except perhaps Rishida, no other middle of the roads and earlier Bimal Roy, uh, you know, they all come from the same school of filmmaking. So these three filmmakers actually made commercially successful films also. So
Of course,
again, Rishida was a very prolific filmmaker, and so was Basudha. And unlike many of the other people, and you must not forget, Basudha actually, along with Mrinalda and Mani Kaul, actually started the new wave when Basudha made Sara Akash, which is based on you know the other's novel, and it is the first one of the first films which was shot entirely on location in Agra in a house. Uh, but in spite of that, when he made films, even some of his so serious films did very well at the box office. I mean, he hardly any film of his lost money, which is remarkable. At the time when hardcore commercial cinema with a lot of action, and then later multi stars were the vogue. Basudha stuck to his, you know, slice of life cinema, and
yeah.
yet he succeeded.
Succeeded in a big way. Succeeded in,
Big,
in a
big,
in a big way in many ways.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, so let's talk about his association with Amol Palekar. He did 8 films with Amol Palekar.
yeah.
And I was watching one of his interviews, and he said that I was known to be a very choosy actor. I used to say no to 9 films out of 10. But I ended up doing 8 films with Basu Chatterjee because we had a unique association. We had a unique
Well,
bond.
Amol started his career with Basudha, and in cinema. He used to do theater, but his first break in films was with Basudha in Rajnikanda.
Right.
And I was talking to the producer of Rajnikanda, my friend Suresh Jindal, yesterday, and he has some fond memories. That was Suresh Jindal's first film, and he went on to make many more classics like Katha and Shatranj Ki Khiladi, and then he
Wow.
was the Indian producer of Gandhi. But he was saying that he was actually he was a computer engineer in the 60s who was working in the US, and he came to India, and he saw this some film of Basu, and he said he was very struck by that film. I think it was probably Pia Ka Ghar, and he said he found that a very different kind of a cinema, which was from the usual Indian films of that time. Pia Ka Ghar was released in 72. So he had no interest in making films. He was a businessman, but he sought through somebody. He found out who Basu Chatterjee was and went and met him, and then decided to make this film. So Basudha told him, "अरे इसमें तो सब नए लोग हैं, तुम क्या बनाएंगे? बनाओगे ये तो picture चलेगी भी नहीं." He said, "No, let's make it." And then both Vidya Sinha and Amol were cast. They were newcomers. First
Right.
film was actually a sleeper hit.
What a film! What a film, and what music as well. So Amol Palekar was saying that it was. He told me he gave me a 1.5 page the short story of Rajnikanda, which was 1.5 page. So I read the short story and I was like, that how can you make a 3 hour film from a story which is 1.5
Again,
pages long? He gave him a proper script with
yeah,
dialogues.
the short story is written by Manu Bhandari, a very famous Hindi novelist.
Right,
With later on, Basudha made 2 or 3 films more based on her work.
right,
And interestingly, while Basudha was a hardcore Bengali, and but he was born in Ajmer and educated in Mathura.
Mathura.
So he had a tremendous grasp of Hindi literature
Exactly,
and
I
the
was coming
language.
to that. Yeah.
And the language. And the other thing was that Basudha was one of the founders of a very prominent an early film society in the 60s in Bombay called Film Forum, of
Right.
which Amol was also a part. That's how they became friends. And so he was exposed to the best of world cinema, which was films which were not released in India, but only through Film Society movement.
Right. German and French and all sorts of
Yeah,
movies that
yeah,
he was in.
you must remember that the European New Wave, the French and the Italian New Wave started in the 50s and 60s. So Basudha, in some way, was influenced by them.
Yes.
Godard, Fellini, Visconti, different filmmakers, but that was the Visica. These were the inspiration.
Right. Okay. And so uh, Amol Palekar, as you mentioned, did 8 films with him. Which you think is his best work with Basu Chatterjee out of his 8 films?
Amol has done some very interesting films. Very difficult to, there are different kinds of films. For example, Rajnikanda is one kind of film. He did another film, Apne Paraye. He was also in
Baaton Baaton Mein.
Baaton Baaton Mein. Of course, very interesting. Baaton Baaton Mein. In fact, Amol recently, I just saw one of his interviews. He very, very jokingly said that he used to tell Tina Muneem that Basudha has set this film with a Christian background because your accent is too hep for Chol.
Right.
But if you look at it, that film Baaton Baaton
Right.
Mein, which again is still popular. It's very popular on
Very.
TV.
Yeah.
And it's such a simple story. But what great performances, whether it was by David Saab, David Abraham, or Pearl Padamsee, or even the small cameo by Ranjit Chaudhary, who unfortunately we lost recently. And the film was shot on a train, local train, in a small bungalow. I remember near Bandra Gym. So
Yeah.
very interesting films, and then
And so, interestingly, he has showcased, I think, Mumbai or Bombay, the way it was called at that point of time, brilliantly, the cosmopolitan nature of Mumbai.
yeah,
I believe in the initial intro of Khatta Meeta, from what I understand, I think he spoke about the contribution of Parsis to Bombay.
yeah,
And
you look also.
the way he showcased Parsi characters was amazing, or Christian characters was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, even other films, for example, even in Rajnikanda, the way he captured life in South Bombay. One of the interesting scenes in Rajnikanda is shot in this little restaurant, which is when you go from Marine Drive, fly over to towards Metro. On the side, there used to be a small restaurant, which is very popular. Very simple restaurant. Bhaskar shot one very interesting scene there. Again,
Right.
in my person, he's. I remember he shot a sequence, a song in a train, local train, and where Tina is selling his Datung Wali, selling Datung. Now you see, to adapt Pygmalion and make it local. From a flower girl, she made it into a Datun seller. You've seen Mumbai local, even today, there are girls who sell those neem twigs. So
Right.
he was a cartoonist when he started. He used
Yes,
to
for
work in
60 Blitz.
Blitz.
The
So
like of, yeah.
yeah, so he actually had that cartoonist sense of humor. He was very witty. If you see his entire body of work, you'll find subtle humor. It's not loud and body humor, but very subtle and often satirical,
Right.
and very, very, very incisive comments on society. And but as a cartoonist, also he had a very keen eye for detail. So when he delineated the urban middle class characters, he was able to capture their idiosyncrasies, the finer nuances of relationship. His cinema was about relationships always, about man-woman relationships, about whether it was of loss and you know uh, a sense of loss and longing,
Hmm.
and but done in undertones. He was not a
Very
filmmaker
subtle.
who, yeah, but not obtuse cinema, not complicated, not difficult cinema.
Right.
His cinema was never preachy. He was always very friendly.
Yeah,
In fact,
definitely.
yeah, if you to all the people, unfortunately, many of the stars have left us. But he always, they all used to say that he's such a pleasure. To work with him. It was so breezy. He was, and a producer's delight. He was,
Yeah.
Basudha never overshot his budget. He always made the film in lesser amount than what was planned. And in those days, when artists would come for few hours, even then he would complete a film in 30, 40 shifts.
Right. No, I think a man of principle. So, as you talk about that, he always shot his films in less than a budget. So, I was watching the interview, and he said that he had taken a loan of for Sara Akash, I think one
Yeah.
and a half lakhs or something like that, and
Mm.
he later repaid it like from his after making other films. So he understood the value of money, and I think maybe because of that, he understood.
He came from a low middle class family.
Right.
He never let that, when he had made a lot of money, he was a successful man, both as a producer and director and then in television. But he never let his middle class sensibility and attitude leave him.
Hmm.
It is very important. People, here in the last 50 years, I've seen people start from humble beginnings, but the moment they make money, their attitudes change.
No, no,
You know,
absolutely, and I think his commitment to
slowly, yeah.
literature. Yeah.
So, slowly things like, your car will change, your furniture will change, and then your clothes change, and it's slowly your language changes, the circle of friends change. For him, it remained. I mean, he did get a nice apartment, but that's all. He wore the same clothes which he was wearing when he was not a wealthy man. He was living the life, eating the same food, and had the same friends. So
You wrote in your article that he was not someone who would go who would appear at the film parties or
very
socialize.
seldom, very seldom. He
Yeah, like that.
socialized, but with his circle of friends, and he would come occasionally to a party, but not regular. He was not a party regular.
Right. So Rakesh Roshan Saab, he did not really make it big as an actor, but Khatta Meeta is a classic.
Yeah, he
I'm
did. In
I'm
fact,
amazed by the way people are talking about Khatta Meeta in the last few days.
no, even you see another underrated film which did well at the box office was Priyatma with
Okay.
Rakesh Roshan and Neetu Singh. Please have a look at that film. It's such a delightful film and very
Okay.
modern film. Yeah.
No, no, I'm sure. But it's interesting that I was watching some of the songs. जैसे गाना है थोड़ा है थोड़े की जरूरत है and what a song. We'll come to the music part shortly. So I think music. I think we can have a discussion on that itself. But so something like Khatta Meeta, for example, such a beautiful thought, and people still love it, and such interesting characters. It's not merely Rakesh Roshan, but there are other characters which are there, which
Yeah,
they're,
very
they're very
small.
interesting.
Even Ashok Kumar's character,
Yeah.
Ashok Kumar and Pearl Padamsi. Actually, interestingly, uh, at the same time, another film on a similar storyline was made by Umesh Mehra called Hamare Tumhare. which had bigger stars,
Right.
much bigger canvas, and there was a bit of a thing that who's no, it is just that both the films were inspired from the same Russian film. But the way Basuda had transplanted that idea of a widower and a widow getting married with and the coming together of the two families, and just by setting it in the Parsi ambience, it gave the film a new character.
Right. I'm sure. Okay, and interestingly, so he has made amazing films, more, and they have a certain
You know, two, three
relevance
of
to
his very
society.
serious films.
Right.
Take a film like Kamla Ki Maut.
Wow.
It's
I've
a
heard a lot about it. Yeah.
yeah, you know, if you see it, it's such a unorthodox. It's about how a girl living in a chawl who has a pre-marital relationship and gets pregnant, commits suicide because she cannot face the people around her family. Very stark and brilliant film. Then a film he made with Nasir and Shabana called Triya Chitra, Triya Charitra.
Okay.
Brilliant film.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
he made a film with Shabana and Shekhar Kapoor with Amol in a guest appearance called Jeena Yahan, which again is a very fascinating story. Very small
Right.
film, but
Right.
very
Right. So he has made so many of these socially relevant films with and making a comment on the society, and he's also made Shauqeen,
yes,
which was remade recently, but
yeah.
the entire idea of Ashok Kumar and A.K. Hangal Saab
Yeah,
just getting fascinated with Rati Agnotri, I thought it was damn cute.
yeah, very good, very. And the film did well.
Yeah.
And mind you, this was Mithun Chakravarti was a star, and Rati was also a star, and they were cast against their normal image in the film.
Right.
In spite of
Right.
that, the film did well.
Right. And the fascinating part for me was to see Ashok Kumar Saab the way he was, because you have a certain image of, say, Ashok Kumar, but when you're seeing him with those twinkling eyes and A.K. Hangal with having that swagger, so it's damn cool.
Yeah, Ashok Kumar even in Choti Si Baat, if you recall his character.
I think Utpal. I think he brought out the best. I think in a lot of actors.
Yeah,
Utpal Dutt, Ashok Kumar, Amol Palekar, Vidya Sinha. I think he brought out the best in a lot of actors.
He made another very funny film with Amol, which is
Pearl
called
Padansi.
He made another funny film with Amol called Do Ladke Dono Kadke.
दो लड़के दोनों कड़के. अच्छा, okay.
That was produced by Hemant Kumar, the music composer, and he gave
Oh,
the music.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I think there's so many films. I think they should be revived. I think that something should be done to maybe just revive
Well,
the
fortunately,
works done by.
most of those films are available on the streaming platforms.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, so now coming to the music, Amit Kanajis, I was listening to a lot of his songs. I was watching them as well. I think so. I personally feel, sir, because you understand music so brilliantly, that any filmmaker, you can have a few songs, few hit songs in your filmography, but when you're having so many significant songs, which is part of your filmography, then you think that definitely the director must be having a role to play in the music. Like ये जीवन है,
Yeah.
गोरी तेरे गांव बड़ा प्यारा, उठे सबके कदम, then कहीं जब दीप जले आना. There's so many songs, and they are simply fascinating songs. थोड़ा है, थोड़े की जरूरत है.
Yeah,
What is his contribution according to you in music
You
of
know,
his films?
for example, as you may be aware, 90% of or more songs are the words are written to the tune. First, the music directors make the tune,
Right.
and when we would go for a music session, first he would brief the composer and the lyric writer about the story, and ideally he would read out he would like always read. He shot with a full script. He was not one of those guys who, you know, He improvised, but there was always a written script in his hand before the film began. So he would have one narration for the composer and the lyric writer. And then next time we would meet and the composer would play some tune. He took 2 minutes to decide. He says, yeah, theek hai. And then I don't think I ever had an argument when I wrote the song with him. They were usually, sometimes he would say, yaar, ye zara, very rarely. I mean, I must have written maybe 20, 30 songs with him. Once or twice he may have said, "Arey, ye change kar do yaar thoda sa." Otherwise, whatever was done, he was very easy. He said, "ठीक है ये." That was one great thing also about him and his level of confidence. Often I saw him shooting when he was shooting with stars. Stars are used to in the commercial framework. यार एक और take कर लेते हैं, एक और take कर लेते हैं. So he would say, "अरे यार ये take अच्छा है तो क्यों और करते हैं?" And he would say, "नहीं ठीक है first class." And आगे चलो. And that's the level. So same thing with the music. He would say, he would not interfere too much. He would just say, ये tune अच्छी है, अच्छा ये ठीक है. But if you all the songs, all the writers, even he had 5 or 6 lyric writers have worked with him. Mainly Yogesh ji, I've done some Anand Bakshi. He did a film called Tumhare Liye, which had music by Jaydev, and the lyrics were by Naksh Lalpuri. Now, if you listen to the songs of that film, they are in Hindi, complete Hindi. Naksh Lalpuri never wrote that language. He was a Urdu poet, but the language is Hindi, and that at that time when not many people were writing in Hindi.
That was my observation, sir. That was one of my questions that I wanted to pose to you. Songs like Rajni Gandha, for example, Jab Deep Jale Ana, Gori Tera Gaon Bada Pyara. Because generally it is considered that if you're writing lyrics for Hindi songs, the idiom has to be Urdu, and you have to take those words because they are more shairana and they are more poetic. But I found it fascinating the way he has used words like sanket in lyrics, which generally we don't hear.
Yeah,
I don't think that. It's like Tate, like Rajinikanth is having Tate Hindi words. Rajinikanth title track.
You see some of my songs, say even in Manpasand, there was Mohid Mugdh Uni ko Taku, Ban Mayur Mandole. For example, पल भर में ये क्या हो गया, वो मैं गई वो मन गया, चुनरी गए सुनरी पवन सावन लाया आपके सजन. So it's written, the ethos is in Hindi. Osho in one of his discourses mentions this song and quotes this song.
Oh, interesting.
And this was pointed out to me by my young friend Vishal Bharadwaj about a few years ago. He said, "Do you know that this song is quoted by Osho?" So he sent me that recording. But like in Manpasand, we have a song where I used the lines from a bhakti poet of the 14th century, Jaydev, which is Charu Chandra ki chanchal cheton, bin badra barse savan, megh malhar man bhavan, pavan piya premi pavan. I wrote a song for a film called Hamari Bahu Alka.
Of course.
Which the mukhra is Prem ki suniye paribhasha, Sundar sapne ujwal asha. Now, normally nobody will accept this mukhra, and that song was a successful song.
No, of course. And even sir, the way he picturized his songs, there was this beautiful simplicity, but at the same time he was saying something through his visuals. Like Rimjim Gire Savan, Amitabh Bachchan song, Mausami Chatterjee song.
When that song was shot, the first day, it was shot without, in those days, you didn't have all that big paraphernalia, the tam-jham of a shooting. So Amitabh and would drive in a Fiat, which his brother would driving. They would come to Marine Drive, and Moshni was sitting in her car, and they would just quickly jump out of the car, and during the rain, and they would shoot the song. So they two half days the song was shot.
And what a picturization! I think
Yeah.
it just showcases Mumbai monsoon so beautifully and so simply. They
It
say
is done done during the monsoon.
it must have been. It must. It's very even उठे सबके कदम तारा राम पम पम जो simplicity उसके अंदर है.
It is shot
It
in a cottage in Bandra.
Yeah, but it has this entire world around it, which is so brilliant. That simplicity and the way he shot it was simply fascinating. So you also mentioned in your article about the way he shot his movies. You mentioned I think at least a couple of cinematographers, K.K. Mahajan.
K.K. Mahajan did his maximum work. In fact,
Maximum work.
K.K.'s first film, his debut film was Basu's debut film, Sara Akash. And K.K., in his very first film, he was a young person out of the institute. And he got a national award for cinematography.
You're right. Okay. And so something
And then
about,
he won several awards with Basu.
of course. And so something about his television career, as you were mentioning in the beginning, Rajni, Kakkaji Kahin, Byomkesh Pakshi, Darpan. It was a phenomenal career. So you knew him for a long time. What was his mind space like when he thought of doing television after having produced so many wonderful and directed so many wonderful films?
When during Mrs. Gandhi's time, when it was decided to allow private producers, I'm talking about Indira Gandhi's time, and which was later the policy followed by Rajiv Gandhi. It was decided to open the television for independent producers. So there was a meeting held by the then minister and secretary, and where some of the film people were called. I was also there, and so were several other people. And out of that emerged Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Katha Sagar, and Bunyad, and several other things.
Hum
Log was before that. Hum Log was a Doordarshan production.
Of course, 83, 84.
Yeah. So it was not produced by a private person. So Basuda at that point said, "I'll make a film on consumer on consumer activism." So it's a very silly idea, India में कोई जानता नहीं था ये क्या है, but the way he conceived the thing, and every week it became such a people were scared, because if you picked up an issue, the next day it was all news in the newspapers. So whether it was about corruption or about some other inefficiency in the civic infrastructure, or overpricing, pricing by shopkeepers, they would all get scared. अरे यार रजनी में आ गया, बंद कर दो. It was in fact one of the leading. Yesterday's Times of India has a big, very good piece by Santosh Desai of how this became Rajini was the launch of consumer activism in India.
Definitely.
Byomkesh Pakshi, who would have thought of this obscure character in Bengali literature and make it so interesting and fascinating? And it had newcomers, Rajat Kapoor and Navni Parihar, and so beautifully captured.
Yeah. The entire world, I think that the way it was shot was extremely interesting, and it was really fascinating. And Kakkaji
many years later, Dibakar Banerjee made a film based on the same story.
Made a film on the same subject. Yeah. So I'd gone to Kolkata for the launch of it, and Dibakar made a good film, but maybe it could have done better. So even Kakkaji Kahin, I think.
Yeah,
what Om Puri did with that serial was something.
Yeah, Kakkaji Kahin has a very interesting backdrop. Manohar Shyam Joshi, who is a very fascinating. He's a novelist. You know, he's the one who wrote Bunyad. He wrote Hum Log. He wrote films also. So
Right.
he was also the editor of Saptahik Hindustan and a very prominent literary figure. I mean, he, by the way, was a friend of your, very close friend of your father's also,
Yes, of course.
Manoj Joshi. I
Right.
remember talking about his dad. And so Manoj Joshi used to write this column called Kakka Ji Ka Hai, which was published in, I think, in Hindustan magazine, you know, the Hindustan Times Hindi. And it was so popular because it's like, you know, Manto used to write his column about everyday life. So would Manoj Joshi. He had a very fine, keen eye. And Basula just picked it up, that idea. And who thought that a newspaper column will become a TV serial?
Of
And
course.
and again, such a brilliant performance by Om
Om
Puri.
Puri. Yeah, Om Puri, of course, no, definitely. All right. So, Amit Khanna ji, finally, how do you think Basu Chatterjee's legacy should be remembered? Because there have been so many filmmakers who who have been inspired by him, the likes of Raju Hirani and Subhash Kapoor, and so many more. I think who've been making feel good cinema, and
Yeah,
they've been definitely inspired by Basu
Tiwari.
Chatterjee and Rishikesh Murray. Dibakar Banerjee, yeah, so many of
No,
them,
no,
so many of them.
Tiwari, both
Nitesh
Ashwini,
Tiwari, Nitesh Tiwari,
Nitesh Tiwari and his wife Ashwini.
Ashwini Tiwari, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do you think his legacy should be taken forward?
You know, he's one filmmaker like Rishida, whose films will always remain relevant. Uh, because the problems and the aspirations of urban middle class India have not changed much. And you know, the trappings may have changed.
Right.
Instead of a scooter now, or you have a Maruti car or a small car. You have, from a chawl, you may move to a one bedroom kitchen apartment in Mira Road. But the aspirations remain the same. The values remain the same. So his film cinema is relevant. And I think that's his greatest achievement. That he made films about characters who are live, who are real, and people are not boring. You know, middle class life may be mundane, but it is not boring.
Of course.
It has, the people have romance, people have infidelity, people have jealousy, people have ambitions. So all those, if you see his stories, it's about all this. And most of his films are the kind of films which, say, Raju Hirani has been very successful. There is a sense of upliftment.
Yeah.
You know, it is, and the end, there are some films which are serious because which he made on literary work, but otherwise it's about, you know, there's a, when you come out of this screen of the cinema, you come out with a smile.
Come on with a smile. That's true.
And as you rightly said, when you come out with a smile and humming a song.
Definitely. As I told you, I was remembering one of his films, Lakhon Ki Baat. Sanjeev
Yeah,
Kumar Saab ki
Sanjeev
film thi,
Kumar.
and funny, such a funny film.
What a very funny film, and what a simple premise.
What a simple premise, yeah. What a simple premise, and the end, as you're saying, it's like a happy end, and like you come out with a smile.
Yeah.
The way even
Even, you know, a film like Thoda Sa Hai, Thoda Hai, Thode Ki Zarurat,
yeah, wow.
come out with a smile. You know,
You come out with a smile.
or even a film like Choti Si Baat,
Wow.
or you know, all these, even Man Pasand, you know, it's a or Pygmalion, but you come out with a sense of a smile, singing a song.
So, you know, Lata Mangeshkar ji has sung so many beautiful songs. Kishore Kumar
Yeah.
Saab has sung so many. But I was realizing that their songs for Basu Chatterjee, I think all of them, they were sheer gems. They were absolute gems.
Lata ji actually tweeted on his death.
Yeah. Must have, because I think
Yeah, because she said, you know,
all the
I've
songs, they
done
are
so.
amazing.
ये मेरी उनको श्रद्धांजलि, क्योंकि मैंने उनके साथ बहुत अच्छा, बहुत सारा काम किया है.
नहीं नहीं बिल्कुल बिल्कुल I think very substantial work, very even Kishore Kumar, I think some of his
You know,
best songs I think they
yeah,
are with.
and yeah, the maximum songs, Hindi songs for any filmmaker sung by Yesudas is Basu Chatterjee.
I was coming to Yasudas. I think Yasudas, some of his like I think he has not done too many songs, Hindi songs, but and most of his songs they're with Vasudhara ji. That's
Basu.
very interesting. I was noticing that. Yeah. गोरी तेरा गांव बड़ा प्यारा जब जब जीत दीप
You know,
जले आना.
and with different filmmaker composers.
Music composers. Yeah, no, definitely. Because Yasudas Saab, I think he has done very few Hindi songs, maybe, but most of them they are in a way they are with Basu Chatterjee, which is fascinating and such beautiful songs, such absolutely beautiful songs. Amit Khanna ji, thank you very much for your time and बहुत बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करके and it was highly informative and we hope that Basuji gets Dada Saab Phalke Award and maybe many more, I think, awards posthumously. He totally deserves that, and I think his body of work will continue to live on for sure.
Yeah, he would have been most delighted if people talked about his cinema.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Which we are talking.
Which we are talking. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.